Good evening and welcome to MasterClass Junior. It is Wednesday and we are cooking. Got Pops here, my little assistant. We have finished online school again today, haven't you? You've done all right. What else? I've done science today. We've been busy working, cooking and all sorts of stuff today, but it's dinner time. So what I thought we would cook today is some lovely fresh fish cakes. And I've been convinced by somebody to put in the middle some ketchup. My worst nightmare, ketchup, absolutely hate the stuff, but this one here absolutely loves it. So there's always a compromise to be made. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna make our fish cakes. I'm gonna serve it up with some little pea shoots, a little bit of olive oil and lemon juice for the grown-ups. I can pretty much guess that the kids are gonna have oven chips or, you know, some peas, something like that with it. But I'll show you the fish cake today. Now, earlier on today, I said that if you are cooking live, you need to make sure your jacket potatoes are cooked, opened, and cooled, okay? You're gonna scoop the skins out for me. Let me get you a spoon. So, yeah. The easiest way, I personally think this makes the best jacket potato, is bake your potatoes in the oven, 170 degrees for an hour until they're crispy on the outside and soft in the middle. Makes a brilliant jacket potato. But the advantage to it is you actually get a potato with less moisture in it because we're not cooking it in boiling water. Okay? And when you cut them open hot, all the steam comes out, so you have even less moisture. So you end up with a much drier texture, particularly for your fish cakes, but it actually tastes of potato. It's not starchy, it's fluffy, it's light, it's delicious. Okay, so just, can you see that all right, Emily, if I just show in detail?
A little bit lower towards camera.
But there?
Yeah, perfect.
So just take your spoon and just run it round the potato. You only want them to sort of cool to room temperature. You don't want them to be fridge cold. And there you go. You can take the whole thing out, pop it straight in. Okay.
Oh, I put the skin in the bin.
There's a little bit of skin there. Oh, sack the chef. So we'll just scoop those out there. So are we all good, Emily? Are we running okay?
Yeah.
Have we got some people cooking with us, do we know?
Yeah, I've got a few viewers.
Yeah. Good. So the other day we were talking about our broadcast times, and we've been chatting with guys at MasterClass about whether 5 o'clock is the right time for cooking, or whether it's a little bit early, whether you want it at 5:30 or what. So please do let us know, because we want to find out the right time for you guys. What's the best time for us to go live and cook? Now, whether you're cooking live with us or whether you are just watching and going, do you know what, we'll make that tomorrow, or we'll make that at the weekend, it doesn't really matter. But if you could let us know what's a good time for us to broadcast, that would be really useful for us. Right, nearly there, aren't we? Are you going to mash these?
Yeah.
Yeah?
You can do
Okay, I'll do the last one. You get mashing. They're a little...
Just do in the air.
Oh, heck. Right, so... potatoes. In you go. They're a little bit cool, Pops, so you might need to really work on it. Now, if they're too warm, if they're too cool, pop them in the microwave and just warm them up a little bit. But you really don't want raw fish and hot mashed potato mixing together and sitting. It's much better if you can just get them mashed when they're hot and then leave them to cool. But it is better. Hold it. That's it. Do you want me to have a go?
Yeah.
And then you finish it. So, let's just give it a quick mash. And you can see it's a really light, fluffy mashed potato. Camera. Which one's one? That one. That one. Which camera is one? That one. Get it? That one. That one.
That one.
Yeah, right. So, can you just keep mashing while I talk about fish? Okay, so, fish cakes, it's all about the fish, isn't it? So, what we're going to flavour it with, I've got some fresh salmon here. I've got a tail end piece, I'm going to get that in a minute. I've got some spring onions for a little bit of sort of savoury flavour. Now, I went to get parsley, because that's what's in the list, but I couldn't get it, so I went for chives, okay? So, don't worry about it. I've got some lemon, and I've got a little bit of mayonnaise. Just a little touch of mayonnaise gives a nice richness to your fish cake. It's optional if you don't fancy it, don't worry, it won't not work. But I quite like just a little bit in there. And then we're going to put some ketchup in the middle for the kids. All right? Adults, I had another idea. I'm going to put a little bit of low-fat cream cheese in the centre so that when you get to the middle of it, you get this lovely, rich, melted cream cheese. And I've gone light because it's Wednesday, not Saturday. Right, okay, let's get these spring onions chopped. If you have any questions come through, Emily, just shout and let me know, because we're just going to be sort of chopping and chatting and things like that. Or if you have any of your wonderful questions lined up, Emily, you fire them away.
So, I have a question.
Have you?
Yeah.
It's not from Mum and Dad, is it?
For the fish,
Yeah.
if you didn't like salmon or you didn't have it in, what can you use?
So you could use cod, you could use haddock, you could use hake, you could use tin tuna if you haven't got any fresh fish. You could use smoked haddock if you like a smoky flavoured fish cake. What else could you use? You could take some frozen prawns, thaw them out, blitz them up, and add those instead. And you can kind of play with your ratios of potato to fish, things like that. So there's like loads of different fish you could use. There you go, Emily. Has that answered your burning question?
It has.
So I'm going to chop the spring onions up nice and fine. And I'm going to chop the white and the green, because you get all the flavour as well in the green. You kind of get the white onion and then you get the green herb from the top. So never, never chuck the green away. Okay, do you want to pop those in for me, Popster?
In there?
In there.
Okay,
So that'll give a nice sort of savoury flavour from spring onions. If you don't want to put spring onions in, put loads more chives in. You could put some peas and crush some peas into there if you prefer. There you go, there's some more chives. So
I'm going to wait till you...
chives are actually the smallest member of the onion family. Did you know that? Not many people know that. There you go. Let me just move that to one side for you. Okay. Right. Yes, that you mix. I'll keep adding. Watch out, no. Yeah, get a spoon. There you go.
I'll just...
Right. So, teaspoon of mayonnaise for richness. Makes it delicious. Okay, you could add horseradish as well, which is quite nice. Bit of creamed horseradish, delicious. Okay, we're going to add some lemon zest. So, got my zester. Highly recommend one of these. And then when you're zesting, so if I do this on the chopping board, and I can actually show you the technique, because on a lemon, you've got that lovely fragrant yellow outside there. And we need to take that off the lemon because the white underneath is bitter and we want fragrance. So you get fragrance from the zest and you get acidity from the juice, but you get bitterness from the white pith. So when you've got a good zester like this, good for parmesan, good for lemons, let me just show them and then you can do the rest. So watch how I'm doing it. So you turn the lemon as you do it, yeah? Okay? It's a bit of a funny technique, but it works. It does. You see? So if I turn that up like that, can you see that, Emily? If I cut like that. So if you do that, you see how it just sort of takes it off? And then when I show you the lemon, look, that's the white bit. We don't want to go any further than that. We just want to take the yellow off. Because if you smell that, Pops, just smell that. How fragrant is that? It's just like the aroma of lemon, isn't it? Not the sharpness. So you have a go. Do you want to have a go at zesting the rest of that in there?
In there?
Yeah, go in there. Lemon and fish, absolutely made for each other. Okay. So let me just scoop these up as well. Poppy, can I just pop those in there for? Brilliant. Right, let's talk about fish. So, tail end salmon is cheaper, the tail end piece, than the other bit. That big thick bit's quite expensive. And what I would suggest if you're going to go to your fishmonger, for fish cakes, this is perfect. The cheaper bit. You don't want big, thick, fresh fillets when you're going to chop them all up and put them in. So go for the tail end. Don't be afraid to ask for it either, because the fishmonger wants to sell it all. They don't just want to sell the fillets, because they end up with that. They'll put them in fish cakes and they'll try and sell them as well. Okay, so just going to grab a knife that's a little more appropriate for it. So I'm going to put a finger there and just hold the skin. So it's got the skin on it, okay, because it's cheaper. If you buy it with the skin removed, you're paying for somebody else to do that for you. So a little tip for you, get some salt. Done? Brilliant.
I'm just going to work with this.
Yeah. Sprinkle a bit of salt on the end of the fish there, and it just gives you some grip. Put your knife in at 45-degree angle. Are you seeing this okay, Emily? Yeah? She's intrigued. She's zoomed in. She's zoned in. So 45 degrees in, and then you want to get it flat. Can you see that all right, the way I'm doing that, yeah? So now we're flat and we're parallel to the skin. And then we push away with the knife and we hold tight where that salt is with the skin. Okay? And that takes the skin away, see? And it leaves... No, you don't want to touch that, do you?
No, I don't.
No, I know you don't. So now we've just got pure fillet. Now, because we bought the tail end, we've got no bones in it, okay? But if you had bought the other end, so the head end, it would have bones in it. Salmon has 22 pin bones per side, so you need to make sure that they're all removed. And the way to do it is to run your finger one way, then the other way, then one way, and then the other way, and you will feel the bones. And if you've got some tweezers, just pull them out. Don't pull them out up like that. Pull them out at a 45-degree angle, and then they'll come out much easier. So, I'm going to slice the salmon into thin pieces. Have we any more questions, Emily, or are we all right? All right. Are you going to ask me any questions?
No.
Go on, Emily. What have you got? You thinking? All right. I'll preempt some. Yeah? Okay, so we've talked about what fish we can use, yeah? We use alternative fish. Now, my wife's vegetarian, doesn't like fish, okay? So we've made an alternative. Can you keep mixing that, please? Is that all right? Do you mind? So instead of fish in there, what I did was I took a red onion, diced it, fried it, handful of spinach, continued to cook it, got rid of all the moisture. I then took that and added it to the potato. Grated a bit of halloumi cheese in there, mixed it all up, and then we've breadcrumbed those so that we're all having the same meal, but it's just slightly altered a little bit. And you can kind of do all sorts with it, really. She's had a question. Go on.
You've used normal potatoes.
Yeah.
Can you use sweet potatoes?
Sweet potatoes are tough because they don't really work with fish because they're a bit sweet. And they hold a lot of moisture in there, so I would steer clear of sweet potatoes. But you could use, what could you use instead? You could, you can see you've broken an egg. Because you fiddled.
It's supposed to be broken.
It's not yet. You're fiddled. You're a fiddler.
I can't help it.
I know. So you could do fish cakes with very, very little potato. If you wanted to avoid potato, if you were trying to avoid carbs, you would dice up your fish like this, you would salt it a little bit so that you draw the moisture out and it becomes a little bit tacky, okay? And it kind of binds it all together with an egg and a bit of flour. You can make really nice Thai fish cakes. You can use crab or salmon and things like that. It works really, really well. Right, we've got quite a lot of mixture there. So can you divide half that mixture and just put that over there for me? So all I'm doing is I'm just chopping up the salmon with a knife, a good sharp knife.
Where do you want me to put it?
Just there. That's it. Right, and then can you season it with some salt and pepper, please? So, again, you can do chunks of it if you want to, but I'm just sort of mincing it really with my knife. Waiting for Emily to answer some questions. I know, yeah. Okay, so we'll pop that in.
That's probably enough salt.
There we go. Right, nearly there. Yeah, totally. So you could add, pesto would work really well in this. You could add tikka to it, a little bit of tikka spice. If you fancied like an Indian spiced salmon, almost like somewhere, almost venturing towards pakora. You could go Indian with it. You could go. You could put some harissa and go Moroccan in there. You could add some Thai paste. You can kind of do all sorts with it, really. You can go where you like. Right, let me just wash this knife. Yeah. If you can freeze them if everything is fresh that you're dealing with. So if your salmon is fresh, you can freeze it prepared. But if it's frozen fish that's come out and thawed, you can't then redo it, okay? So you can't freeze fish twice unless it's been cooked in between stages.
There.
Brilliant. Right, okay, perfect.
Do the egg.
Yeah, can you crack the eggs in for me? Now this is a good job for the kids, okay? Let me just move this board over here. All right. Here we go. Let's just wipe this down. Well done.
One egg.
Okay. Let me get a fork. You need to speed up a little bit because I'm going to catch you up. Okay, so can we see the fish cake mix there, Emily? Yeah, so you can see it's quite a dry mix. That's good, that's what we want. And then we're just going to use a spoon and we're just going to mould. Now you can make really tiny little cocktail sized fish cakes if you want. You can make bigger ones, but we're going to make some. And we're just going to sort of create. Now I'm just going to get Emily to cut into this. Yeah. I'm almost made a bit of a donut shape and I've sort of pressed my finger in the middle to create a little well. Do you see it like that? So we're like almost a donut but not quite all the way through. Can you just squeeze a bit of ketchup in there for me?
Yay.
Yay. Into that gap. No, don't go mad. Whoa. Right. So can you see that? And then we take a little bit of mix and pop that on top of there and just seal it up. Okay? Don't press it, just try and gently encase it. Okay, can you just nip over to that cupboard and get me a plate? So now the ketchup is encased in there. So we gently pop it into the flour and then turn it over. All right, and then we pass it to Poppy and she does the same. So gently turn it over and try and get it fully coated in the egg mixture. All right? Because the flour will help the egg stick. The egg will help the breadcrumbs stick. And I'll talk to you about breadcrumbs. So these are my favourites, which are panko breadcrumbs. So they're like an Asian style breadcrumb and they're super crunchy and super crispy. They're really, really good. They take the bread, they then dry it out and then break up into breadcrumbs. Right, straight in, grab a handful, pop it in, and then pour that on top, okay? Submerge the fish cake in, all right?
Camera on, we just move it across a little bit.
Which way? That way?
A little bit back towards you, there.
There we go. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So, kind of lift the breadcrumbs. So, we're going to do another one, Pops, yeah? We'll do two, just to show everyone.
Do you need are we going to do the one you're having?
No, we'll just stick with the ketchup ones.
Yay.
Okay, so we'll take our mixture. You're going to go wash your hands and then you can do the ketchup again.
Okay.
All right? So a little bit of flour on your fingers if you're getting stuck and create that well in the middle. Now for the kids we're putting ketchup in, but like Poppy said, you can put the cream cheese in if you prefer that. So a little squidge in there, a little bit more, that'll do. And then take a little piece more and then just sit that on the top and it will encase it in. All right? And then drop that in the flour. Can you see that all right, Emily? Yeah? Don't worry about getting it the perfect shape now. Let's get the breadcrumbs on it now and then we can shape it after that. All right? So just carefully turn it over. Turn it over, that's it. So make sure that it's got egg mix all the way over it because it's the egg mixture that's going to bind the breadcrumbs to it. Lift some breadcrumbs up and pour them on top.
Do you want to see them?
And then we're going to cook these. So if you just push that to one side for now, Pops.
I'm going to just quickly wash my hands.
Yeah, please do. Right. So once you've made them, you can rest them in the fridge. Okay, I'm just going to wash my hands. Okay. Are we all right? Yeah? Have we got anyone cooking, do we know, today? Right, so, non-stick pan, all right? Let's get that on the heat. We'll just talk about cooking it. And then we're going to make a nice little simple dressed salad. See that mixing bowl there? Yeah. That jug in the dishwasher? Let's have that. Okay, so, non-stick pan. Oil into the pan, okay? Let's turn that down. Put the fan on. So you want just a little bit of oil, and do you want to get a fish slice? Yeah? And you want just a good, steady, medium heat. Perfect. Oh, I'll have the plastic one actually, please. I think that'll be better on this pan. Okay. All right. So let's scoop under that one. Right, and then we're going to put it in carefully and drop and release. That's it, well done. Good. Same on that one. Actually, I'd like to turn that one over because that's where the seal is, what's keeping the ketchup inside. So I want to get that done first. So can you pop that into there? Perfect, well done. Right, that can go to wash. And then we're going to make a really simple salad dressing, okay? So, take a little bit of butter, is optional, just to make it nice and golden and crisp. Emily loves her butter. Right, squeeze me a lemon into there, young lady. One whole lemon.
I'm going to ask you, what would you serve with hot and salt?
Well, you can serve little mini ones as bite-sized ones. I think they're really nice with a salad. Because it's nice and fresh, and it's a nice contrast. Potato wedges would be good, and I do a really nice seasoning on potato wedges with fennel seed, chilli, onion powder and sea salt. Grind them all together and season up the wedges, they're amazing. So you could also make a really nice sort of pea puree, so you could blend up garden peas with some mint, some honey, some olive oil, some vinegar. That's really nice. We're all right, Ray, you're going to have to pick all those. I only needed, what, half a lemon?
You said a full lemon.
Half a lemon, I think I said?
No, you didn't.
All right.
I'll pick all the seeds.
All right, well, let's get the seeds out. Right, can you grab me, there's a big tin of olive oil over there. A whopper of a tin.
Wow.
Got a fresh delivery last night. Right, so the juice of half a lemon, okay, is good. Let's flip these over. So if you just want to cut onto these, Emily, look, you see, nice and simple. You don't need to deep fry these. They will cook nicely, easily. All right, should we have a quick, do you want me to help?
I'll do it.
All right, so when you're making a salad dressing, you want a third acid. So lemon juice, lime juice, grapefruit juice, vinegar, and then 2/3 olive oil. And then a little bit of salt and pepper just to sort of bring it up as a seasoning. So we're going lemon juice. So we're going to have a little bit of salt in there, just to season it.
I actually opened it.
Well done. A little bit of pepper. Right.
Bit of oil.
A little bit of olive oil. All right. Keep going. That'll do. Right, grab yourself a little fork and give it a little mix together.
Oh, there's a fork there. It's got egg in it.
Yeah, so don't use that, use that. Perfect. You see how that non-stick just shakes around? Get yourself a good non-stick pan. Make sure it's hot. You put your food in with a little oil and it won't stick. It's keeping a nice constant heat. We use it induction heat here. And I think when you get induction, at the beginning it's quite hard because if you're used to gas or electric traditionally, it's quite difficult. But once you get used to it, induction is definitely the way forward. It's really, really easy to control. It's clean, it's instant, you get power up. It is great to cook with, I promise. Right, okay? Yes, we have a little taste. All right, let's get 2 teaspoons.
I'm okay.
And we'll have a taste.
I'm okay.
Okay? So, it's important to have a taste so that you know whether is it sharp enough or is it too oily. And the only way is to taste it. Tiny bit more salt. So you would like that, it's nice and lemony. Try it. Okay, can't convince you.
Sorry.
Coward. Right, let's turn those over. Now, because this pan's got a metal handle, it means I can pop it in the oven. It's going to take about 10 minutes in the oven, maximum. But I've got another one. So, let's grab a plate. So, in the back of that dishwasher is a nice plate. One of my Maxwell Williams plates. One of those black ones is really nice. Got it? Let's give it a quick wipe. Clean as we go. Excellent. Right, so I've got some pea shoots, okay? These are lovely. They're kind of sweet and crunchy. All right, so you're going to pour some dressing on there for me?
How much?
I'll tell you when. There we go, that'll do. Right, now if I'm going to make it all chefy and fancy, I'm going to take some mayonnaise. Watch out.
Mayo.
Bit of mayo.
Mayo.
Just pop that in the middle. See, we'll make it all fancy, you see. So you make a nice little bed there of mayonnaise if you want to. Push it round the edges. Yeah. Now, actually, do you see on the top shelf there, that pickled fennel? Grab that. It's next to the lemons, right in front of you. Yeah? Got it? There. Yeah, good. Okay, so this isn't in the recipe, but I just thought I'd share it with you. I'm killing time, to be honest, because my fish cakes are in the oven. Oh, Emily says I've only got 3 minutes left. Right, this is pickled fennel. If you love your fish, you will absolutely love this. Raw fennel, sliced up, really, really thin, put into a preserving jar, and then topped up with white wine vinegar, and just leave it for a couple of weeks, and you end up with this amazing, tangy fennel crispiness. And fennel is aniseed in flavour, so it works really, really well. Okay, so Poppy, will you just mix that together for me? I'm going to get a fish cake out of the oven. Emily says we haven't got long. So I'm just going to grab this. I've got one here that's already ready. Pardon? No, she's bossy, isn't she? So let's just pop that straight onto there. Lovely. A little bit of seasoning there. Have I got it in the right place? Oh, hey, oh gosh, it's almost. It's all about her shot. Right, and then Poppy has mixed this beautifully. So we're just going to sit that on top of there. This is looking like fancy food, this. So you can almost imagine a restaurant. It's like being back in a restaurant. Do we remember what they are? A little drizzle of olive oil, because that makes it all look nice. And that Poppy, a final, like all good fish dishes, they need a little touch of lemon juice at the very, very end. There you go. It makes all the difference. That squeeze of acidic, fresh lemon just cuts it all up and makes it super, super fresh. Now, if you've given this a go, please send us a picture. I'd love to see how you get on. Whether you go ketchup in the middle like this one, or whether you go cream cheese like I would. It's entirely up to you, it doesn't matter. But we'd love to see if anyone's made this recipe. On Friday, we are back at 5 o'clock on Facebook UK, on MasterClass UK even, on Facebook. And what we're doing Chinese style food. So we're doing a bit of katsu chicken. We're going to do it with rice or with noodles and nice stir fries. Something good. See us through into the weekend, and then it's half term. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have any questions about the recipes, please post them on the Facebook page and we will answer them as quickly as we can. But in the meantime, enjoy your cooking and we'll see you Friday.